We're going to have our final panel session right now. We're going to have our final panel session, after which we'll have the vote of thanks. So we're still looking at closing by 4. So please, we crave your indulgence to exercise a little bit more patience up until 4 p.m. So our next panel is going to be anchored by a lady that is very dear to my heart. And she's going to, when she comes up, she's going to call up the panelists for that session. Please, this panel session, we're giving you 15 minutes. Please, let us work with 15 minutes. Maryam, please, can we put our hands together for Maryam Ibrahim? She said now Gen Z, Abi. Maryam, clock it. Okay, you know be Gen Z. True, you know be Gen Z. Please, let's clap for her. Maryam Ibrahim, a brilliant, very, very brilliant young lady that is doing amazing stuff in Kano. She's the CEO, by the way, of one of our sponsors, Glitterand Global Limited. Please, let's celebrate her.
Amazing section, isn't it? Are you happy? So if you all agree with me that there are a lot of opportunities out there, just like the real estate organization that just offered us a slot. But the thing is, these opportunities are not ready if you did not position yourself properly. Opportunities like this, you need to have the right mindset, you need to have the skill, and you also need to have the willingness to act. Today, we are going to explore on the conversation on how you can position yourself for growth, how you can explore other opportunities and industries that are readily untapped in the country. So I am delighted to be joined by three distinguished panelists, but one of our panelists are not here. So, with no further ado, help me welcome Mr. Stephen Ogundeji. Thank you very much. And Ms. Augusta Ezenwa. Today's panel section will be on where the opportunities are and how we can get them. Are we ready? Okay. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be among your midst today. So my first question will be for you, Mr. Stephen. A few months ago, the CEO of MoneyPoint, Mr. Tosin, came in public to say that Nigerians are not readily positioned in skill, talent for global position. So I want to ask today, what skills are employers desperately looking for today that many young people still lack? What is that skill?
All right, thank you so much for that question. And before I start, I think I would appreciate the convener of this program for putting up this platform where we can come here and basically interact. And I would say clearly that ever since I came in, I've learned a lot of things. So I'm not just here to, share my knowledge, but I'm also here to, to listen to my big brothers there. They shook the table, and it was quite interesting. So back to your question. I will agree with the CEO of MoneyPoint somehow, somewhat agree with him, and somewhat say no to his assertion, what he said the other time. So why I'm saying this is that a lot has changed in the talent industry. between, let me say, in the last 1 or 2 decades, or 1.5 decades, right? Gone are the days where we go out to look for top talents, particularly in the tech space, right? I remember vividly the first NGO I worked with, eHealth Africa, is here in Kano. Our top software guys were pulled from Germany, US, and some other part of Europe to work for us here in Nigeria. But as I speak to you today, reverse is the case, right? Most of these top guys are found here in Nigeria. So gone are the days where we go out to shop for, those guys to say, oh, come into Nigeria, come and work for us. Now, what has changed? Knowledge is easy to find these days. If you want to acquire what, let me say, if you're in the tech space, for instance, and you want to know what product is all about, you want to know what data analysis is all about, you want to know what project management is all about, you can easily grab that, you can easily find out, even from your phone, you can easily get that knowledge. Now, that has made it easier for talent to be found in Nigeria. However, you see, we don't have the infrastructure. Till now, we don't have that infrastructure in place. One of the guest speakers said something. He said, why is it that when people move out of I think it was Mr. Peter that said that. He said, why is it that the moment talent moved out of Nigeria, a lot of things happen? It's simply because we don't have that infrastructure. And the very few universities in Nigeria, I think, are beginning to put that infrastructure in place. Maybe I will mention Covenant University and maybe some other top private universities. Now, what are the infrastructure I'm talking about here? You don't just go to university and graduate and you become a superstar. No. A lot of things come to play. I remember when I was studying abroad, I don't know why I always give this example. The first assignment I submitted, was copy and paste. And when I saw the results, it was, I'm sure we are familiar with Turnitin. Turnitin is a technology that you use in marking, grading, assignments. And when I saw it, I saw red everywhere. That was when I knew that, look, for you to pass in this environment, you need to use your brain. So, thank God, a lot is happening in Nigeria. People are beginning to, like even this platform where we are now, if you can find a way around things, you can easily connect to where you can tap one knowledge that can help you, one way or the other, So, it's something that we're gradually navigating towards. However, we have a lot to do. So, to an extent, I would say the CEO is right, but again, I would say no. I've been in his shoe. It takes me a while to get talent. I go out of Nigeria. I'm the global head of talent for where I work for currently. And I tell you, at times, those talents are very, very difficult to find. My CEO will call me, I need a structural, a technical, a whatever. I will start looking, where do I get them? I have to go out of the shop to get them. But thank God, I know with time, we'll get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. That's so detailed. But if I will ask you again, the actual skill, because this is an opportunity we're trying to give the audience here. We want to position them for the future. We have half of the halls are NYSC corpers, and very soon they will be ready in the open markets looking for jobs. So what are those skills you think they should hold on to right now that will be useful to them in the future?
All right. Of course, you can't take out technology out of whatever you are talking about here, right? So, again, even technology itself, it's not just about, I study computer science, I study software engineering. Someone called me yesterday that, look, cybersecurity is the reigning thing now. Please make sure you push your son, you do, whatever. And my response was that technology itself is a creative destruction, right? What you create today, don't be surprised that in the next 2-3 days, it will no longer be in vogue, right? But going by the current trend, there are some courses that either you do them or you have skills around them. And these are maybe data science, artificial intelligence, coding, right? Coding skills. You don't have to study computer science to do coding these days, right? My son at 7, he was already coding. I was like, wow. So I had to attach him to a very senior software person to teach him how to do this. And I think he's doing better. So anything you have to do today, ensure that you find a way to put technology around it. And most importantly, when it comes to operating a system, honestly, I want to beg core members, right? When it comes to, if you don't have a personal laptop, do everything possible to learn how to work on a computer. I can tell you that I have a recruitment firm in Kano here. Most core members, when you say, please, what's Control X? What is it for? They will tell you they don't know. So it's a very serious matter. So whatever you are learning, whatever you are doing to reposition yourself, make sure technology is all the way. Just find a way to position yourself in such a way that you can infuse technology into whatever you're doing.
Okay. Thank you so much for that brilliant idea. I hope you guys are taking notes because he's in the HR sector and he's just giving you this for free. So, Miss Augusta, I've known you've been doing amazing well in your field as an agricultural expert. For a woman having a farm, it's amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
So, for young women and young people generally who may face financial and societal barriers, what practical advice would you give them to being creative in their opportunities instead of just waiting for them?
Thank you so much for that, Maryam. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ezenwa Augusta Anwulichukuka, CEO, Ego Dinola Farms and General Enterprises. Okay, I would respond to the question with a very brief story about myself. I am a farmer, yes. I'm also a chartered accountant. I am a chartered tax practitioner. And I also volunteer with the MasterCard Foundation as a Youth Advisory Committee member. And I'm also a facilitator with JONAPID. And I'm a volunteer with PEL Conference, amongst other things. So that being said, with this very little background, I would like you to see my movement. I started my journey in 2015. And permit me to say, I'm speaking because of the core members, that I'm still under 30. And I have 7 people in my employment as we speak right now. So it's not a journey that started immediately. 2015, there was a fire incident in Kano that affected so many families. My family was deeply affected. My parents lost everything. So I had to start supporting my family. So from there, I started doing a lot of odd jobs. I did marketing, I did sales girl. Sometimes you see me in the markets, even till now. You see me carrying cartons and all of that. But I'm a graduate. And I'm a chartered accountant with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN. How many young persons are willing to bring themselves to the point to know that you have to start from somewhere, no matter how small? There was a time in life that I had to work even for hotels. Sir Ola is aware of it. I work in hotels. I was earning, I would say because I've left now, I was earning as low as 50,000 naira monthly. And I was using this 50,000 to support my family, my parents, my siblings, their school. So, but was I only focusing on that job? No. Here I've listed about 2 to 3 other activities I do. So even if I am earning a salary, I am also doing, they call it all these side hustles. You understand? So you're not expected to sit and wait for manna to fall from heaven. You start from where you are, you start with what you have, and you keep pushing. And remember that in these days now, I want to share a secret with our core members. Go to the internet and check. You will see most NGOs, they are trying to turn agriculture, agribusiness, to dignified and fulfilling work. Not old people's work, not retirement work, not dirty work. You understand? So seeing that it has backward integration and forward integration. So even if you don't have the money at hand, you can attach to persons that have these businesses that you have interest in and volunteer to work with them. When I met Sir Ola Barnabas at NIM, I met him to volunteer to learn business skills. I said, what can I do, sir? I will be with you. I will volunteer. Just please mentor me. And since then till date, I am becoming a very, very serious and better version of myself. So what am I trying to say? There are opportunities. Opportunities abound, but we need to get it. One, don't only settle for your certificate. It may not give you what you are looking for. Number two, be ready to do the dirty work because nothing lasts forever. Because you are hustling now and you are suffering now doesn't mean you are going to continue in that line. A time will come, you will get there. But don't say if they don't give me a job of 200,000, 300, I'm going to sit down and keep doing mommy thank you. It's not going to take you anywhere. Start small. Start small. When I started my farm, I started by selling eggs for people before I even got mine eventually. I will come and meet you. I will sell eggs. I will make a commission, 200 naira per crate. I was a student. I was making zobo and selling and raising money. But still, when I come out and look, you think she's posh. But when you see me hustling, you'll be like, who is this mad haggard? I don't know who saw me this morning. You say, who is this person? So my advice is, please, no matter whatever it is, don't underlook or undervalue anything you are doing. You have your certificate, you earn salary, you build your career, but also build your life. Try to create employment for yourself and others. And remember social media. Last 2 months, I went for a pitch competition and I came first. My business, I shared with Sir. They gave us money from social media. Pitch, grants, business. There are thousands of dollars out there. So as you are trying to get this employment, remember that you should also create employment. Don't be thinking about, I just want to be employed. What can you also do to create value? You understand? So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That's so wonderful. I don't think the Gen Zs here can relate because they want quick money, so they can't do odd jobs. Because I remember someone telling me that I can't do a job for 50,000. I remember when I started, I came to Kano, I was earning just 15,000. And that 15,000, from there, I also use it to pay my rent and look for odd jobs too, service rendering jobs, before I also started Glitterand. So I hope the Gen Z is in the building. I'm not going to have that mindset, but push forward, the willingness to grow. Once you have that mindset and the willingness to act, I bet you will scale through. So, Mr. Stephen, let me go to the NY, because I'm more concerned about them, honestly. They're currently earning 77,000, but after this, what next? I guess that's the question they will be asking themselves. So, dusting their CV, trying to position themselves for more opportunities. How can they position themselves properly for a competitive market, especially with little or no experience?
Okay, so maybe I should also
for
speak
a salary of 200,000 or 500,000.
I think when you said your salary was 50, I think after my secondary school, I worked briefly somewhere and I was earning 600 naira. 600 naira a month. That was a long time anyway. But back to your question about the core members. one of my staff in Port Harcourt graduated or finished NYC. Was it 2 days ago, right? 2 days. Those that graduated 2 days ago. They passed out saying sorry. And on the WhatsApp platform, they were congratulating her. Oh, Amarachi, congrats, blah, blah, blah. So I congratulated her. I now posted something that made everybody laugh. I said, I hope you are aware that at the end of this month, you will not receive alert again from federal government. Someone now said, yes, that's true. Amarachi now posted one picture like as if like someone crying and all that. I now tagged other guys and said, Muhyiddin, blah, I mentioned the other guy, said they can relate. Muhyiddin now said, oh, it will look like you are going to die, but you will not die. And I said, Yakubu will manage. Now, this is where I'm going. NYSC or service here is a time for preparation. In fact, from the first day you put on that khaki, start planning your exit on what you're going to do on the last day. Myself, for instance, I served in Kebbi State, and in fact, that was where I met my wife. And we're 17 years in marriage this year. My first, then I think we were paid, was it 1,000, I can't remember, 1,600, I can't remember the actual amount. 7,500, thank you. Now, my alawi, I don't touch it. Yes, I don't touch my alawi. So I have to do secondary PP, right? The tertiary, like 2 PPs, teaching lessons and all that. I do like a 3-square movement from the lodge to the church to my school or whatever. I'm back. So apologies for those that party. So I don't go to parties. I don't mingle with girls where they can take out of my money. You understand? So I was able to save enough money. The first 190 car I got was from after my service here. That was when Benz 190 was the rating thing. You understand? But what I did during service was to buy enough books. I attended enough conference, as in a lot of training, just like you said, volunteer to be part of anything that would develop you. Immediately after service, the first interview I went, I got the job. Because I was preparing before the service. That was Bank PHB, now Keystone Bank. And when the guy saw me, he looked at my suit. He was like, that's Gucci. I didn't remove this, what's it called? The label. I placed it this way. The guy saw Gucci. Fresh graduates wearing Gucci. Where did you get the money from? You understand? I dressed well to that interview. I answered the question to my best of ability, and a week later, I was sent to Lagos for training. So, NYSC service year is not time to play around. Don't think the alawi or whatever is going to last forever. All you need to do then is to prepare and groom yourself. Groom yourself in the aspect of relationship, because you might come out and you start thinking of marriage. Groom yourself in the aspect of entrepreneurial development. You might go out, you might finish service and someone will say, okay, what do you want to do? Let me give you 1 million rand to go and start business. So just groom yourself in so many aspects. By the time you finish, it is when you are dormant, you finish without learning anything, that you go out there and you'll be frustrated. But by the time you already prepare yourself that, look, in any area at all, like, okay, in business, in whatever area, by the time you get out there, when the opportunity comes, you click into that opportunity easily. So that 1 year is not time to just wake up and do whatever you want to do, but it's time for you to develop yourself physically, personally, and every otherwise. So that's what I have to say here.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I remember when I came to Kano, it wasn't a nice experience, but I was able to adapt and endure the situation. So Kanu taught me a lot during my journey. It's been 10 years now after service. And I will say that I never thought I would be here today in midst of amazing persons. But one thing I kept doing was to always improve in my experience, my journey, the people I've met so far. And I will say, books are not one of my major things, but what I did was I made sure I listened to a lot of podcasts. I make sure I do lots of online training. So I set out a goal that every month, at least I do maybe 1 or 2 online training to improve my skills. No, not social media. So my data was well planned. I don't just use data for social media and the likes. So yes, I agree a lot with you that books, volunteer in opportunities. I see lately that most of us here, most young people don't volunteer for opportunities, for programs like this. If it's not money, you're not talking. It has to do with money, and that is not good, especially when you have a roadmap to where you're going to. So to you, Miss Augusta, you said a lot about how you journeyed so far. Or tell us, what was that one fear that you were able to overcome before you start seeing opportunities in your journey?
One fear I was able to overcome was the fear of the unknown, actually. Because remember I said that I started my journey and all my working in 2015. So I resigned completely from working for people full-time last year, July. Before I resigned, I had actually started all of this by the side. But the fear to leave that my security, that my salary that must come, and then come and face this uncertainty, you understand? And also being agribusiness. You know, agribusiness is risky business. Very risky and very capital intensive. So the fear to just let it go and come and push this held me for a very long time. The fear of the unknown. But so far so good. I am very, very happy I made that decision. Because since I made that decision, it has just been from, I don't even know how to explain it. Whatever it was I was earning, that I thought I was on top of the world, like what I make from my business, I can make it in a week in my business. Yes. So yes, the fear of the unknown. And another thing is, I sometimes, I have stage frights. Yes, I have serious stage fright. So me sitting here is not me. I don't know who it is. But another thing is my ability to overcome that fear of the crowd, fear of public speaking, fear of expressing myself. And that's one thing the Mastercard Foundation has taught me, because we go on trainings. And if you go through Mastercard Foundation's portal, you'll see some of my videos there. I speak, icebreaker, panelists, and all of that. So that fear of the unknown held me. And another thing I'm also happy to say is that I've been able to train and mentor so many young women, especially in Kano. Like as we speak now, I have over 6 persons I'm currently training in agribusiness, training them in poultry, in aquaculture, in value addition, forward and backward integration. Like I said, I'm a serious farmer. I don't just farm birds and fish. I also plant, this is our planting season, rice, corn, and all of that. So that fear of the unknown that we keep holding, what if, oh God, let it go. But let it go smartly, oh. Don't say Augusta, say let it go, and you go and let it go. You need to plan before you actually let it go. But it was the fear of the unknown I had. But I'm happy I was able to jump into this world, and I am I'm not going back. That's just the thing. I'm not going back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The thing is, we all have that fear, honestly. But once you're able to identify the fear, the first thing for you to do is say it that, oh, I have this fear. acknowledge it, and then you start working on it. Because if you don't, I believe you still remain where you are, holding on, holding back. So with that, we don't have much time, sorry. So, sir, I think this will be our last question. Looking at Nigeria economy today, what industry do you believe will create the most opportunity over the next 5 to 10 years? I remember you mentioned tech, but everybody now is going into tech. Can we shift a bit? The other sectors, let's hear if there are other opportunities that we are not looking at currently.
In fact, I don't want to pin this down. I don't want to pin this down to a particular sector. Right? Because Nigeria is a developing economy. We are not developed. And again, I think there's a theory that we shouldn't call Nigeria a developed, that we are part of the emerging markets or something. Emerging markets. So, the truth is that if you can study the environment well, I don't think there's anything you do in Nigeria that you can't make the best out of it. Of course, a lot of people are going into tech, fine. But again, the industry she is also another very, another very good sector. But to cut the long story short, no sector in Nigeria that does not have that potential to make you rich or make you make money. You understand? I was talking to somebody in Mozambique 2 days ago, and she said that she heard that we have gold, we have copper in Nigeria. I was like, Mozambique too, you have all those things. You understand? But now she said that of Mozambique and South Africa, Zambia is sure. When you take action, right, it makes you stand out. If you don't take action, then there will be problems. So whatever the business you want to do or whatever the sector you want to go in, first of all, study the sector, ensure that it's something just like what MS Press is about to do. Very soon you'll see us. We'll blow out. Yeah? Exactly. So we're just on the headline just so hopefully next year we're going to be the headline sponsor for this event. And I've discussed that with the convener. When you look at your environment, try. What do you think you can do in this environment to make money or to make a name? When you sit down, analyze it very well, Nigeria is that place where you can make that money. But if you don't think deep down, you don't do your analysis properly, then you might think there's no money in Nigeria. But every sector in Nigeria has the potential to boost.
Okay. So thank you very much. This is the final session for today. I appreciate your insights and your experience you've shared with us so far. So we'll be rounding this up. If there is any, I don't know, do we have time for questions? Okay. Okay, there are no times for questions. So thank you, everyone. I hope you've been able to learn something and have a take home today. It is obvious that there are opportunities everywhere, but you just need to position yourself. You just need to be ready, have that mindset, be willing to act when there is opportunity. They said preparation meets opportunity, right? If you're not prepared, some opportunities will just come and that's all. So thank you so much, panelists. Thank you, Mr. Stephen. Thank you, Ms. Augusta. With a beautiful round of applause for them, please. Thank you very much.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, please can we appreciate Maryam and our team of panelists. Thank you. Okay, so